elections and the historic Democratic hat trick that preserved democracy in the state at the end of last year. I'm joined now by one of those winners, the newly elected Attorney General of Arizona, Kris Mayes. Attorney General Mayes, you've been sworn in, so I can call you that. Good to see you. Thank you for being with us. I enjoyed our conversation in Arizona. And one of the takeaways from that, because I spoke to you and your now Secretary of State and you're now governor while I was there, all of you enjoyed support in your election from Republicans who were frustrated by the election denial that had been going on in your state, which is why I was surprised that it sort of took so long to resolve your election. Why do you think your opponent, who was also a strong election denier, seemed to have more support than his counterparts running statewide?
Well, you know, as you know, Ali, this was a little bit of a further down ballot race. So sometimes that happens where you get some drop off voting. But, in general, our elections in Arizona are really, really tight. They're really close. And we're a third Republican, a third Democrat, a third independent. These were closely fought elections. But, at the end of the day, though, they're probably not going to call me landslide Mayes. We got it done. The people of Arizona got it done. As we talked about when you were out here in Arizona, American democracy ran through the state of Arizona. Right. And the people of Arizona came through for the country. I really believe that.
Well, so Arizona and Michigan and Pennsylvania were canaries in the coal mine for what happened that night, because in all of those states you had avowed election deniers who not only were election deniers, but they talked about the things that they would do about both the 2020 election and the 2024 election, which you warned about, that you're going to elect someone who is actually saying the quiet parts out loud about what they're going to do. But that fight's not over. It frustrated a lot of Republicans in your state who then voted for you and your other colleagues across the ballot. But it's not over. They just haven't given up in Arizona. The election deniers are still at it. I think your election is still, at least in the minds of some, being litigated.
Yeah, my opponent is still litigating the 2022 election. They're making it clear that they're going to stick around. They're going to continue to try to sow doubt in our election and our elections. And, we absolutely have to be vigilant going forward into 2024. This really is about protecting American democracy into the future. These candidates are not going to stop. They're not going to stop trying to undermine and create doubt in the minds of voters about our elections, which are safe and absolutely very well run. So we have to remain vigilant. One of the things that I'm going to do as Attorney General is we are going to protect our elections officials against threats of violence, death threats, which they received, as you know, Ali, during this last election cycle. We are going to make sure that we protect the right of Arizonans to access the ballot box. And we are also going to make sure that we protect vote by mail, which the Republicans wanted to eliminate, but 90% of Arizonans use.
Which the Republicans brought into place in Arizona. This was actually their thing, as it is in many places around the country. Here's the other problem that I see, because I'm going to be speaking to Jocelyn Benson from Michigan tomorrow. There is, some people think we dodged another bullet, right? That the 2020 election, despite the election deniers, Joe Biden remains president. The 2022 election, you in Arizona prevailed, and in Michigan they prevailed, and in Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro prevailed. How do you convey to people the urgency of the fact that your opponents are actually getting more sophisticated? They're realizing what fails, they're realizing what the nonsense is, and yet they still are honing their message. Your opponent continues to do this. He continues to go out in media and talk about ballots that were not counted in a fraudulent election.
We just have to counter them. At every opportunity, we have to counter them. We have to get out and we have to talk to, rural Arizona. We have to talk to Republicans. There still are Republicans who voted for us, as you pointed out. I mean, the top 4 statewide elected officials in Arizona are Democrats who believe in democracy. And that tells you that Arizonans believe in democracy. The independents, the moderate Republicans are with Democrats on this. So we have to it is a constant effort. And you know what, Allie? The other thing that we have to do is we have to make sure that it is clear to everyone that it's unacceptable to try to steal an election, to try to undermine and overthrow an election. And that's what happened in 2020. And I've said that as Attorney General, I will investigate the fake elector scheme. So we just have to make sure that what happened in 2020 never happens again. We also have to reach out to Republicans. We have to come together and we have to work on the issues that actually matter to Arizonans. And I think when we start doing that, when we start showing that Republicans and Democrats can work together on critical issues like water, combating the fentanyl crisis, making sure that we prosecute elder abuse and consumer fraud, that's when I think we can come back together as a country.
I did witness that in the conversations that I had with Arizona voters there, that Republicans and Democrats were actually very willing to work together. They wanted to put this election denial nonsense behind them and move forward. Kris Mayes, congratulations on your election as Arizona's Attorney General. Thanks for joining me again.